One of the biggest problems with the insurance side is, and what I found is, people are waiting around for catastrophic losses. And as a public adjuster working with us, you don't have to wait around for catastrophic losses.
Hey, hi, my name is Abahi, and I am a claims adjuster. If I can help you get into this industry, would you let me? Today, I'm sitting here with John Mesco, who is a public adjuster, and he is going to give us a little bit of information on himself, what he does, and how he got started in the industry. John, thank you so much for having me out. So, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, I'm a state licensed public adjuster. Actually, I'm licensed in a dozen states on the East Coast. I started about 7 years ago. I was a pool builder for 35 years, so I knew nothing about public adjusting. I didn't know what a public adjuster was. I needed to find a JOB, a job. Okay, so my wife told me I did. So I had to go find something, and I found an advertisement on Craigslist, actually, just saying they were looking for inspectors, property inspectors, public adjusters. I called the individual. He got back to me. He asked me to come out to an open interview. I came out. He explained what they did, how they did it, how they make money, and I said, "This is for me." After he showed me the money, I thought to myself, if half of what this guy's telling me is true, I'm in. And shortly afterwards, I got my New Jersey state license. I studied about 2 hours and got a 71. Passed the test. Okay, this wasn't too difficult, and I started. I want to let everyone know it's not a get-rich-quick scheme by any means, but I have individuals that work with me and under me that have earned six figures their first year in the business. I did not. Okay, I took a slower route. I worked hard at it, but I wanted to learn everything. 7 years later, I can gladly say that I'm well into six figures, and it's looking on up from here.
Okay, fantastic. Now, a lot of my subscribers actually want to get into independent adjusting,
Mhm.
and a lot of times I get this question: How do I get started when you don't have experience? Also, is work available after you get your license? Because a lot of people have children,
Mhm.
they have homes that they have to support. They
Sure.
don't want to get their license, and then there not be opportunity for them to work.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about that?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've hired probably about 40 independent adjusters over the past year in the Atlanta metro area alone. They all were excited about the industry. They saw opportunity. They were hired by insurance companies. They were dispatched and found out 2 weeks later all the work dried up. That, in my opinion, is a problem with independent adjusting. As a public adjuster, I don't have to worry about that. I can go out any day of the week and go to work, and it's flexible. So, for instance, yesterday I happened to be up in Greenville, South Carolina, and I'm opening offices around the East Coast, and I was there. I wrote five claims. Okay, essentially, as a claims rep with us, if you write a claim, it takes about an hour and a half. You make about $350. If you move up, and we're looking to push people up as a regional manager, you're going to make about $500 on an average $5,000 damage claim. And we're not looking for catastrophic losses necessarily. We're looking for toilet overflows. We're looking for tiles that crack. We're looking for any kind of direct physical damage to the property that is a one-time occurrence, again, sudden and accidental, and not excluded on policies, which covers a whole range of different types of damages to properties. So if you think about it, Abahi, there are probably, I don't know, 2 million homes around the metropolitan Atlanta area. Out of 2 million homes, there's at least one claim every 3 years. So that means there's 750 properties that have damage every year that should be covered by their insurance.
Okay.
You need a whole lot of public adjusters just in Atlanta area alone, just to help these property owners and advocate on their behalf against the insurance companies.
Okay, great. And you mentioned a couple things. One, you said you hire. Do you provide training too?
Oh, yeah, we have some of the best training in the public adjusting industry. As a matter of fact, next week we should have probably 400 reps in Atlantic City alone. It's a 2.5 days of annual training. We have 73 classes. We have 42 CE credits, and the individuals will be trained there by some of the best public adjusters in the industry. We have classes such as the science of smoke, the categories of water, negotiating classes, how to read policies, declaration pages, commercial, residential. We have a whole range of different types of educational classes that are offered at that particular event. But we also have quarterly events, and we have weekly training throughout about 40 different locations on the East Coast.
Mhm. But although you do provide all this training and you do hire, would you recommend, even if you go into independent adjusting, what should somebody do with their current job?
Well, what I expect people to do is I say that this is a no stress, no pressure business for me, because I expect people to keep their current job and work with us on a part-time basis. You can work part-time with us and learn an entire new career. As I explain to people, if you don't have a B list option in your back pocket, chances are you're going to retire broke. So this is just another option to be able to learn something I believe is the best part-time job in America, bar none. But it's also one of the best full-time careers once you learn the business.
Okay. How does somebody become a public adjuster?
Well, each state has its own state-specific qualifications. Georgia is one of the tougher states to get licensed in because you do have to take a 40-hour class. Okay, so that's not all that bad though, because you do learn a lot through that. The cost for licensing, the total cost in Georgia is about $500. Now, our company will pay you back $450 once you get trained. Okay, so you're going to make a little bit of money while you train. You get your money paid back to you for your licensing. Other states like South Carolina, the licensing is about $200, and the test is quite a bit easier. Okay, once you get your license in your respective state, your resident state, then you get reciprocal licenses. A reciprocal license for me in Georgia was only $80. In South Carolina, it was about $200. Maryland was $52. I guess Ohio was about $200. So it varies.
I have a lot of people in Illinois.
In Illinois is about, I believe it's about, reciprocal is about $300, but to get licensed in Illinois is about $500. It's right around $500. So I'll be in Chicago next week.
And when you say 500, like what does that?
Well,
price?
and again, every state is state specific, but typically it might include doing a study class, whichever states may require that. Very few require it.
That's the
Georgia's
40-hour.
The 40-hour class. Other states don't have any study requirements, but generally we have study materials. We have 8-hour videos that we can send you that is state specific for 46 different states. Okay, so we can send you videos. We have different types of training to help you pass the test. We have state specific training guides, study guides. We have what I call the onboarding and licensing process in at least a dozen states on the East Coast that we can explain you exactly what you need to do to get licensed, who you would call for licensing, and the cost for that licensing throughout. So some of the other costs are for background checks. Some states require that, or a sled test or fingerprinting that require that. That ranges anywhere from $10 to $67, I guess. Then the actual cost for the license itself, and that ranges. One of the bigger costs involved in some states are bonding. So South Carolina doesn't need us to get a bond, but other states do. Virginia, as far as I know, is one of the more expensive, costly states for bonding because you need a $50,000 bond. So that's a little bit more costly. The state license in Virginia is probably about close to $600.
Okay, and I do want to spend a little time on this because we talked about how independent adjusters have to wait around for a CAT versus public adjusters work more frequently.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the way that I work is I do free policy reviews and property inspections. Okay, and I do that because everyone has at least one damage claim every 3 years. So if I go into a home and do a free policy review, property inspection, I'm typically writing claims in 3/4 of homes I'm in. Okay, but if a property owner does not have any damage or any recent damage, there's statute of limitations on damage that we can write claims for in every state. But if a property owner does not have recent damage, I feel fine about that because then they will know exactly who to call the next time they have damage. Okay, so that's what I mean by branding yourself. You build your own network. You build your own network of individuals that understand what they need to do when there is a damage claim on their property.
But you don't necessarily have to build a network if you just want to work. Don't you have like field?
Yes. Well, then of course there are other ways that you can get paid, and you write claims. If there's with our company, of course, there's 3 ways that you get paid. One way is you go out and write a claim. Hour and a half worth of work, you make about $350 on an average size claim for $550, $5,000 damage claim. The other way you get paid is you actually do field adjusting. So the first way is just basically you're a public adjuster, but you're just writing paperwork, getting the client to sign it, sending it in, and you're basically finished. You want to become a field adjuster, then you're going to be scoping the claim, documenting the loss, taking photos, doing a drawing, and writing a narrative, and that's a scope. At that point, that will be taken, or you as a field adjuster would take it and then write an estimate using Xactimate, which is an estimating software system that the insurance companies use, and we use it as well to our advantage.
And you train on that too.
We train on that as well. We have some great training. Matter of fact, for field adjusting, we have a 2-week field adjuster course that's being held about twice a year in our in Bensalem. It's absolutely free. So if you wanted to go to that, you could certainly go to that and learn how to field adjust. Some of the courses that are covered there, it's very intense. We call it a boot camp. And some of the courses are there are there's 2 days spent on commercial policies. There's 2 days spent on the HO3 policy. There's negotiating classes, the science of smoke, the categories of water. So there's a lot of different classes that we hold, and it's been held by one of the top adjusters in the country, Bill Undercover.
Okay.
One difference between us as public adjusters and an independent adjuster. In most independent adjusting firms, it's you as an island. Okay, if you are interested in building a business within a business, we give you that opportunity. So, I personally, I'm a recruiter. I'm proud to say that I'm a headhunter. I try to find good people that want to earn money and do this business. And as a result of that, I'm building a team of people that I override. It works just like any Fortune 500 company. We have managers and we have people doing business. And you could choose to do that. It's optional. You don't have to build a team of people if you don't want to. It's similar to real estate. You know, you have brokers and you have agents.
Okay.
So,
With the time we have left, can you tell us how public adjusters get paid?
Sure.
And maybe some of the dollars behind a claim?
Sure. So, again, an average $5,000 damage claim, a company fee on a $5,000 damage claim would be about $1,750. A claims rep coming in to work with us makes 20% of that, or $350.
Well, do you have the story? Like the story? Like somebody?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I recently, back in May of last year, I had a client that had called me through a referral, had a kitchen fire in his home. Okay, and this poor guy for 8 months was being beat up. Okay, basically they didn't want to pay him. So at the first week I sent him out some paperwork. He didn't sign with me. A month later he called me and he said, "John, I'm sorry I didn't sign with you. I'm ready to go. Don't tell me what happened. I know the insurance adjuster came out with the fire marshal, and now they want to do a investigation. They want to do a recorded statement. No, they want to do an EUO." So they really put this poor guy through the ringer. Okay, it was a kitchen fire. Now, most kitchen fires are suspect for arson, quite honestly. So what happened was about a month ago, I kind of got fed up, and I put together a lengthy email to the attorney that was representing the insurance company. A day later, he said, "Mr. Mesco, I'm glad to say that our insurance company is going to pay the claim." So this guy would have lost everything. We got him. I believe we're going to settle for about $350,000. We signed it at 12%. Our parent company gets $40,000. They're going to pay me 30% of that for writing and signing the claim, then another 20% for adjusting the claim, and a 5% bonus. So 55% of the company fee, which is 55% of $40,000, is actually $22,000 on one fire claim. And you know, I handed him his first check about 2 weeks ago. You know what the owner did? He hugged me and then he cried. Okay, so in this business, people like what we do. Okay, we're not selling anything. We're helping people recover money for damage that they should get. Okay, that they're owed. And when we do that, people are elated. Okay, and they refer us.
Right. And you said that people are elated, homeowners, policyholders
Right.
are elated. Who's not elated?
Well, the insurance company may not be, but they know. They have reserves. They know that they have to pay. Okay, it's just a matter of how much. When we as public adjusters get involved, they know upfront they're going to pay more. That's all there is to it. And let's face it, only 9% of the claims nationwide are represented by public adjusters. That's why I see this business, this career as a public adjuster, as a real, can we say, honey hole? Okay, I believe I know it's a tremendous opportunity. So I'd encourage everybody out there just to connect with Abahi, and she can kind of take you through a little bit further on how, where, when you might get started. We're licensed in 46 states, so we can actually be recruiting and opening offices nationwide at this point. So I do plan on going on the road this year. So this summer I know I'll be in Denver. We're going to be opening in Denver and Minneapolis. I'll be up in the New England states this summer as well, up in Maine and throughout the New England states.
And then one more question. So how much was the original check on that fire claim that they're going to pay you now?
As far as the
Was it like a
fee,
yeah?
or-
Was it did they pay out first and then
well,
you went back?
it'll be a multiple checks. There were about 3 checks given out for a total of $69,000.
But without you, what would he have gotten?
Oh, it would have been denied. He wouldn't have got a penny.
But why?
Okay, they weren't going to because they were not going to approve the claim because they suspected
It was
arson,
arson.
and
Okay.
it was no way. We were able to represent him and get him paid fairly. Okay, they were just going to jerk him around, and the owner was 71 years old. And guess what? He didn't have the stamina to hold on anymore.
And,
So.
and if I may, if you do have something that happened to your home, give us click the link below, and we'll help you. We'll take a look. We'll do a free property inspection, and you can start
Sure.
do a claim on your own home
Mhm.
to start off with.
Yeah, if we get settlement paperwork that you may have gotten from an insurance company or denial letters or whatever you may have, we'd be glad to review that for you at no cost. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
One of the biggest problems with the insurance side is, and what I found is, people are waiting around for catastrophic losses. And as a public adjuster working with us, you don't have to wait around for catastrophic losses.
Right.
You know, I wrote 5 claims yesterday.
Okay.
You write an average size claim, you make about $350 to $500. That's on a $550 or a $5,000 damage claim.
Okay.
So just writing the paperwork up, not
Right.
even adjusting it,
Okay.
you make yourself about $500. If you want to become an adjuster and actually adjust that claim for the property owner and represent the property owner during the insurance claims process, you're going to make another $300 or $400. So it's
Okay.
$900 on one claim. So I wrote 5 yesterday.
Okay.
Okay. So, and anybody can do this business.
Okay.
So that's the difference now. As an independent adjuster, most of these independent adjusters are working with large loss claims that are catastrophic. So
Okay.
you're being dispatched away from home. It's not an easy gig, okay? And it just so happens down here, I'm in Atlanta at this time, and down here in Atlanta, I probably hired 40 independent adjusters over the past, year, because they were all recruited by large insurance companies, dispatched down to Florida after Irma, sat there for 2 weeks, and there was no work, and so they had to come home and was on their dime. So they're all very upset.
Okay, gotcha, right.
And that I think that tends to happen a lot.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
and I want to be upfront and honest with you. I have a very good public adjuster who works with us. He went out to North Carolina from New Jersey. He was green as they could be.
What's that mean?
In other words, he just started.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't know what he was doing.
Okay.
He's learning while he's going.
Okay.
He had 150 claims to adjust on his queue, and the money was coming slower than he expected. And he got talked into becoming an independent adjuster
Okay.
by a
Right.
couple independent adjusters.
Okay.
That was 4 months ago.
Okay.
He's yet to be dispatched. He gave up his public adjuster's license. He's working at BJ's right now. Okay, to survive, and
Right.
he's still waiting.
Right.
So that's the problem as an
I know.
independent adjuster.
Right.
So as a public adjuster, and the way we work,
Mhm.
like I say, any given day I can go out and pretty much write claims.
Okay.
I can prospect wherever I want because we're not waiting for those catastrophic
Right.
losses.
Right.
We're waiting for one of the other 16 perils that are covered and anything else that is not named.
Okay.
So it covers a large range of damages on a property, and in the way I see it, most people have at least one damage every 3 years. So if you take the population of Atlanta, how many homes are there around Atlanta? 2
There's a
million?
new one around the corner.
There's 2 million homes
Mhm.
in and around Atlanta, and if 1/3 of them, 750,000 people, have one damage claim every year,
Yeah.
that's 750 damage claims in and around Atlanta,
Okay.
and they need to be represented by somebody. They're going to get representation if they file a claim with the insurance companies. Now, out of the 750 claims, only maybe 10% will go to the insurance company to file that claim.
Okay.
The other 680,000 people that own a home will never file that claim that
Right.
year.
I know.
So they need education,
Right.
and our mission statement is to educate and protect property owners. So
Okay.
they need that education. As you build a database, as you build a network and you build your database, you build your network up, you brand yourself as a public adjuster,
Mhm.
people start realizing what you do,
Right.
and then they start calling you.
Okay.
And it does take time to build up. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
So that's just one area where you can go ahead and start to learn this business and work even on a part-time basis as a public adjuster and move into it into a full-time career as you learn the business and learn to do more.
Yeah.
I think the next thing we should do is probably schedule an open interview. We would schedule an open interview live.
Okay.
And if we can schedule an open interview live with anybody that gets on, we'll schedule that open interview at a certain time and date whenever you want, and we'll do that. We'll do it live, and then
Yeah.
So quite honestly, I have 4,900 people that receive my invite every week.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Wow. Yeah.
So every Monday morning I do a live training
Right.
at 10:30 and then 11. So I do a live training and
Oh,
we can
okay.
record it.
Yeah.
And if they want to request a video,
Right.
a recorded video
Interview.
explaining a little bit more about the opportunity,
Yeah.
strictly the opportunity, we can send that to them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fantastic.